Today we are going to do section 5.4, long division. Yay! What is long division? Now, if you don't remember how to do long division, please stop the video right now and Google long division and figure out how it's done. Okay, I do need you to remember how it's done. It's a simple process that's taught in grade school or something. If you forgot it, it's no big deal. Just review it real quick. And when we are done, then let's turn to page 462. If you more or less remember how to do long division, that's good enough. Okay, let's move on. So look at page 462. There is an example that doesn't have a number. So I call it example 0 in your homework list. Please do this as part of your homework as well. Now let's copy this thing down. All right. So here we are. We have a random polynomial. All right, divided by some other random polynomial. In this case, we always divide by things that has less power, the highest degree. That is the thing here is the highest degree is 3, right? And this one has the highest degree of less than 3. That's the only time we're going to do division. If this has less power than then we don't do it. Okay, that's just not a thing. So let's look at how do we do long division. That we do exactly the same thing we used to with a basic long division. What you're going to do is we need to come up with a number such that when you multiply by x equal to 2x cubed. So that is focused only on this and this thing. Okay. Now so when you look at it, what multiplies it by this thing equal to that? That would be 2 times x squared, right? Because if you have 2 times x squared, all right, then multiply 2 times x squared times x is 2 times x cubed. So I'll write that down. All right, exactly, right? So that is the basically all of doing long division. You just do this. And next step, we multiply this times that. Write it down here, which is 4. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4, and then 2 times 2x squared is 4x squared, and then. So we draw a line here, and then we're going to do subtraction, just like regular long division. Now, being that I made it such that these two are the same, and it better make it all the same, okay? So this part will always be 0. And then this part, you need to do the subtraction carefully. We're doing minus 3 minus 4, like this, okay? We're doing minus 3 subtracted by minus 4. That equals to positive 1. Right? Because this becomes a plus. So when you do subtraction, carefully to not miss a minus sign is where I tend to screw up. But if you do it very carefully and not mess up, then this should end up being x squared. Okay? And at this point, just like regular long division, you write down the next thing. And 4x. Okay? And now we're going to repeat the process. So we have x squared, something times x need to be x squared, exactly. And what might that be? That would be positive x. Okay, so x times x should be x squared, and then similarly we'll do the same thing here. X times plus 2, which is plus 2x. And then we're going to do subtraction again, okay? Just like regular long division. This is the same because we made it that way. So this will disappear. And we now will be down to 4 minus 2 is 2. So we're down to 2x plus 5. We'll drop this thing down, okay? You notice that each step you knock out 1 degree. Right? I mean, we started at degree 3, they were down to degree 2, now we're down to degree 1. So the same process repeats. Something multiplied by x need to be exactly 2x. And what might that be? Well, that's just 2. So we'll write down the 2 here. 2 times x is 2x. And then 2 times 2 is 4. And then we have left with 1. Now notice 1 has less degree than x because 1 means you have an x of degree 0, right, in here. Whereas x is of degree 1. So by the time we are less than that, then we stop right here. This will be called the remainder. We're not going to go any farther. And so this is just like regular division. This is the answer, and that's what's left. So the answer is written like this. This divided by that equals to this thing, okay? Let's see, 2x squared. I'll write it down here, plus x plus 2, and then plus 1 over x plus 2, just like regular division. Okay, the 1 being the remainder in the division. And that would be the answer. Okay, this is the result of the division without the remainder, and the whole thing can be written like this. And that is the result of that divided by that. And so, please redo this thing by yourself as well. Did I get it wrong? Did the book give a different remainder? Let me check to see if I messed up. All right, I got it wrong, right? I mean, 2x times this is, why do I have a minus here? I think I just copied down the minus for no reason. It's a plus, right? 2x squared times x is 2x cubed. 2x times 2x is plus 4x. Why did I write down minus? I have no idea. Maybe I just copied that down or something. Anyway, so I got to fix my mistake. So this subtracted, it becomes, that becomes a minus 7, right? Yeah, that is minus 7. Okay, so then this part need to be changed. If it's minus 7, then this part all right, so it's minus 7. Then we need to do the same process. Minus 7 times x. Something times x better be minus 7. So this should be minus 7. All right, so this is minus 7. Okay, so minus 7 times x is negative 7x. Then minus 7 times 2, it should be minus 14. Okay, so this is wrong. We should have minus 14. Okay, and so that's minus 14x. All right, and then so then times let me see. Now I'm confusing myself. Sorry, this is just plus 4, okay? Because this just dropped down here. So let's do that. Plus 4. All right. And okay, let's continue. So minus 7, this is plus 4. And then minus 7 times, the next step is we need to multiply minus 7 times x, that would be minus 7x. Minus 7 times 2 is negative 14. So negative 14 should be here. All right, this is negative 14, right? All right, so let me make sure I get it right. Yeah, that's better. And then we need to do the subtraction. Minus 7x. All right. And then do the subtraction then. This subtracts out, okay? This then becomes a 4 minus negative 14. That would be minus, that's minus 18x. Okay, that is better. So that's minus 18x plus 5. So I need to change that, okay? Then the final result is plus 18, sorry, because it's 4 minus negative 14 is plus 18x. And then we drop the 5 down here, which we have then the final step is we take plus 18. Okay, then plus 18x times x, this is 18x. And then times 2 is 36, so we'll write that down here. And then the subtraction then gives us minus 31. That's better. So negative 31 is the remainder. Okay, so the answer should be 2x squared minus 7x plus 18. And then plus minus 31 divided by x plus 2. That looks okay. All right. So that would be how you do long division. All right. So then so this is a process that's really standard, and you do every single one the same way. Okay, now the only time that there's a trick is if one of these things is 0. If one of these things are 0, say there's a 0x squared, so you don't even write it, right, in the problem. If there's a 0 anywhere in here, okay, oh, maybe this is 0, maybe that's 0, maybe that's 0. If anything is a 0, you have to write it down anyway. That is, if it were a 0, you will write down 0x squared, like this in here, and then do the division anyway. That's the only tricky part of doing this type of thing. So, so let's look at the next example. So with that, please do example, this is example 0. And then after that, please do example 1 and 2, which are very similar. And then example 2.5. That's an example between example 2 and example 3, and it doesn't have a number. So I just call it 2.5. Please do that one as well. And that should be good enough, okay? After that, the book introduced something called the synthetic division, which is a long division in a shorthand form. But I don't feel that it's necessary to worry about shorthands, because the reason is because long division is just a matter of you know how to do it. Okay, you write down a bunch of x's, and you save synthetic division. You skip writing the x's, so it's a bit faster. But I feel that writing a few x's is not going to kill you. Okay, and plus it makes it easier to remember what you're doing. So as long as you know how to do long division the standard way, that's good enough. I mean, eventually, it's not used that much. It's just a standard trick. It's not particularly exciting. You might need I don't think you need long division after algebra. And maybe you might need it, you will need it 0 times, as far as I remember, in trigonometry. Maybe once in pre-calculus, maybe a couple times in calculus 1, 2, and 3 put together. So you probably forget it or almost forget it. If you do, just look it up. Okay, it's not a big deal. So please just do the examples and the homework. Now I want to demonstrate what I mean by when I said that what if one of these things is 0? What are you going to do? And I looked through the examples in the book, and there's not a single example with a case where one of the coefficients are 0. So I looked for one of the homework, problem 23, okay, and I'm going to explain that right now to show you, to give you an example of what to do when one of these things is 0. So let's please flip to page 468, and let's do problem 23 right now. So here is problem 23. You notice that if you look at the problem, you notice something is missing. Okay, there's nothing in terms of in front of x. So I wrote it down here as 0x. Now anything that's missing, to do when you're doing long division, anytime there's something missing, you need a third power. Okay, second power. What happened to this? It was not there. Then let's put 0 there. You have to do this, okay? And then the constant term. What if there's no constant term? Then you write down a 0 here, okay? You don't just ignore it like it doesn't exist. You have to write down all the terms that's missing by putting 0 in front. Well, anyway, so after we have done that, then we proceed with the same trick, okay? Let's see. So let's hope I don't mess up this time. All right. So let's okay. So 4 times x. Let's make something has to multiply this to be exactly the same. So doing that, that would be 4 times x squared, right? So times that equal to 4x cubed, okay? And then yeah, that looks okay. So then then the next thing we'll multiply by here is 4 times 4 is 16, and then x squared. You always go down by 1. Okay, the reason is because if something's missing, then you put down a 0 there. So you will always go down by 1, guaranteed. The long division is a systematic process with no exceptions, as long as you don't forget to put the zeros where it's needed. So then we'll do the subtraction here. Subtracting, and that would be equal to minus 5 plus 16 is what you're doing. So that would be 11, right? 11x squared. And then we write down the next term, which is 0. And you might wonder, what am I supposed to do with 0? Same thing you do with any other number, okay? And we repeat the process. So something times x had better be 11x squared. That would be positive 11x squared. times, sorry, 11x, because x squared will make it too much. Just x. And also, this term goes down one at a time. If it doesn't, there's a mistake. So anyway, this is 11x times x here will give you exactly 11x squared. It better be. And then 11x times 4 is 44. 44x. And then, so what do you do with the 0? Nothing. You just do the subtraction. 0 minus 44 is negative 44. Okay, and then we write down the next term. If this were 0, then you would write down 0. But it's not 0, so we write down whatever it is, plus 13. Okay, and then the next step. Something multiplied by this had better be this. And what is that? That would be minus 44, right? Minus 44 times this thing is exactly that. And then of course minus 44 times that, which is minus whatever it is. I guess I need to pull okay, minus 44 times 4. 44 times 4. Okay, I'll just write it like that. And anyway, so then we'll do the subtraction. Then this subtracts out, and the only thing we have is the remainder. Which is a number, which makes sense, okay? Because the remainder needs to be 1 degree lesser than this thing, at least. So we'll do the subtraction. That will be equal to 13 plus 44 times 4, and I'll figure out what that is in a moment. And that, but that is generally speaking the answer, okay? The answer is this is the dividend, and this is the answer plus the remainder, and that's what's being divided. So now let me check to see if I messed up. Well, guess what? I messed up again. The exact same mistake. Why did I put down minus here? 11 times x is what? 11 times 4. What? No, this 4. Okay, 4 times 4 is 16. 4 is positive 16. Why did I write down a minus? Anyway, so this is positive 16. So this is all screwed up. And so we'll subtract. That's 16 plus 5 is 16 plus 5. That's minus 21, right? Yeah. So this becomes minus 21. All right. And then, so if it's minus 21, then that would be 21 or minus 21 or something, right? So it's minus 21x. Now, why do I always make that mistake? I have no idea. Minus 21x, so then we have minus 21 times 4, which is negative 84. So let's fix that. Okay, so that would become subtracting, that would become positive 84 here. Okay, so that would become positive 84. And then, so we have to create positive 84, we have to multiply by positive 84. Positive 84. Right? All right. So positive 84, let me, at this point, how about I check the answer? Yeah, now I'm getting it right, great. And then drop down the last 14, 84 times 4. So it should be positive 84 times 4. Positive. And then this becomes 13 minus 84 times 4. Minus 84 times 4, and that should be the answer. So now let me use the calculator to see if I got it right. Okay, so I punched in a 13 minus 84 times 4, okay, on my cell phone because I can't find the calculator. And that's equal to negative 323, which is the right answer. Goodness. So that should be it. In general, that is how you do long division, and once you're done with that, that should be good enough. If you think, well, I want to learn how to do synthetic division, then you can follow the book, but I don't really recommend it. I mean, why bother? It's just learning a shorthand to do something that you're barely ever going to do anyway is, to me, it seems like a waste of time or energy, okay? But anyways, so what I recommend that you do is once you get through this section, just move on. Let's move on to the next section where there's far more interesting things going on. So for homework for this section is, I have it written down here, is problem 23, which I just did, and then problem 27 and 35. And that should be good enough. It's just long division, okay? So please do that. And of course, all the examples I assigned. And then let's move on to the next section.